is on, the cameras are on, but the cameras will not start till 6, which is the shift requirement.
Maybe
Leave him alone. No harassing the witnesses.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. It's now 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the Greensboro Town Council meeting to order for August the 21st, 2025. If you would, please rise and join us in the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Pastor Shively.
Let us pray. Almighty and gracious God, as we've come here this evening for this town meeting, O Lord, we just ask that you would guide us and direct us as council sees to businesses before them, as conversations and questions arise, O Lord, just guide us in a good way to listen to each other. And we know that if you are at work here with us, many wonderful things can happen. So we put all things in your hands, O Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, so if the council has had the opportunity to review the agenda, I'll look for a motion to approve, or do we need to add or make corrections?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, is there a second to approve the agenda as listed?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the agenda is approved. All right. Also, I assume that the council had the opportunity to read the minutes from July the 17th and the August 7th meetings, and if so, I'd like for a motion. Well, first I gotta read, you stand by. So, on July the 17th, 2025, the mayor and council met in closed session to discuss personnel matters and to obtain legal counsel. In attendance was Pete Berulia, Dave Spencer, Bobby Harrison, Christine Robinson, Joe Noon, Cindy Yost, and Lindsey Ryan. Motion was made by Councilmember Robinson and seconded by Councilmember Harrison, and unanimously carried to approve disciplinary actions. On July the 29th, 2025, the mayor and council met in closed session to discuss personnel matters and obtain legal counsel. In attendance were Pete Berulia, Dave Spencer, Bobby Harrison, Christine Robinson, Joe Noon, Cindy Yost, and Lindsey Ryan. A motion was made by Councilmember Robinson and seconded by Councilmember Harrison, and unanimously carried to approve disciplinary actions. So, I will look for a motion to approve for the July 17th, minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 17th, 2025 minutes.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And certainly I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes for July 29th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the 20th.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so the minutes are both approved. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the presentation by Solar Simplified.
That would be me.
That would be you.
So, this information was posted also on Town Hall streams. This is an opportunity for the town of Greensboro, for all residents that have Delmarva Power to receive a credit on their electric bill of up to 10%. The grid is located in Pocomoke and in Salisbury. Currently, you would just have to go online, enroll. Once you enroll, it would take 2 billing cycles before you would start to see that credit. I actually sat with them and went over all of this information. To me, it seems like it's a really good deal. The town would have to enter into an agreement with them. This is funded by the federal government, and it's carried up till 40 years for us to have this type of solar credit. the individuals that came are from Solar Simplified. I can tell you that Denton has already signed an agreement with them and have already put out letters for their residents to sign up for this. The grids are, at a certain size, so the sooner we decide on this, the sooner we can get on those grids. If we don't make it this round, it would be 2026 before the next grid would be ready. So again, it is not any solar panels in this area, it is coming from Pocomoke and Salisbury, which are already there. So, for me, I'm thinking it's a win-win, because it's 10% off your electric bill regardless.
Almost sounds too good to be true.
I know, but I have investigated it, and I've also reached out to other towns that are doing this. I can tell you that we did do this, and have sent out the letters, and that's what we would do, we would send out letters if you all agree.
So you would have to draw up an MOU though, right?
They have an MOU ready to present, to us, and we would just review it. But at this point, I need to know if we can move forward with this.
Does anybody else on the council have any more questions?
Just to clarify, you don't have to sign up as a
Mhm.
household
Mhm.
if you choose not to, and
Right.
you can sign up whether you own or you rent.
Correct, it's per, residence. Yep. And strictly Delmarva Power residents, they've already got the agreement with Delmarva Power.
Any other questions or comments?
I make a motion to move forward.
All right, so, Pete has made a motion that we move forward to authorize you to get the MOU to sign with the company to go with the, Solar Simplified. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. All right, next on the agenda is public comment, which has been moved up to the beginning based on our new, rules, so let's see who we have on here. Ken Burke.
Well, I'm here because I gotta get this off my chest.
All right.
All five of you were wrong. You all knew Billy a lot longer than I did. I only knew him a year and 3 months. No way it's gonna change when you five are gone. That's how I feel. And I already talked to my lawyer, so you won't have any retaliation. I got something else, but I'll keep it under my hat. They come in to know about it. And no, and now I'm talking out of the taxpayer. The police are never here. When they are here, they work both shifts, the same shifts. When they get off the shift, they leave the marked cars here, then they take the unmarked ones home. Come on now. I'll pay taxes in this town too. It's not right. Why do they gotta work the same shift? No answers?
It's not a question and answer session, this is where you comment, we listen, and then when we have our chance to comment, we can reply back.
Well, that's what I wanna know, what's the reason why they do that, work the same shift. Then when they do work, they take the marked ones, leave the marked cars here, and take the unmarked ones home.
Well, we'll take your comments under advisement, okay? Thank you. Somebody keeping the time? Kim or Jason Ernest, both of you want to talk, or just the one?
I didn't expect this revamp of,
If you're gonna talk, I need you to come up to the microphone. Thank you.
All right, Kim Ernest, like I was saying, I didn't expect this revamp, I kinda wanted to hear what was said before I had a public comment. Feel like we make 2 steps forward and take 3 steps back sometimes, we have packets of information now, which is great, but to hear the discussion about the packets would be helpful before we need to make public comment. So it's like, kinda hard to comment on potential conversation later on in the meeting. It's kind of a waste of time to get up here and spout off comments when it might be answered or addressed later on in the meeting. Specifically, what I was gonna have a comment on, depending on the outcome of the meeting, were these apartment complexes that received letters about the water sewer meters. I just wanted some clarification. I will admit that I quickly read through this today, but what it appears is that these units were not individually metered and were being charged a flat rate. And I guess my comment, inquiry, whatever, would be, how long has this been going on? Who was in charge of making sure this was done correctly? And what are the ramifications moving forward? I see they have to fix it, but is there any recoverable funds that are gonna come of this? And how it affected the rest of the town residents and their bills? So, that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you. I apologize, I can't read your name, but Dylan,
Oh, that's me, Dylan Grimes.
Dylan Grimes?
Thank you. I mean, most of my comments are regarding, again, as mentioned, it's kind of hard to comment in the beginning when my issue is being spoke about at the end of this meeting. So a lot of my questions are not gonna be answered until then, because, I mean, the other thing is, just to clarify for everybody, I live at Oprah Park condominiums. Condominiums are individually owned, we are residents, we are homeowners. And yes, ours was only for the trash situation and not the water. Each homeowner is responsible for their own water. However, the trash, we feel that we should not be responsible for paying $10,000 back to the town of Greensboro, because we were never notified until now, and we have not received proper evidence of the discrepancy. And as our dues cover the trash, each person is still paying for that trash. If we have to pay this $10,000, our dues will have to be increased by a significant amount, and it will deplete our reserves. And as a condo association, we have to have a certain amount of reserves legally, which then we have to supplement that by increasing fees. We also are confused as to why the trash service is being ended at the end of August, when we have paid up until the end of the quarter, which is the end of September. We have, also spoken to Republic to understand if we can transfer our account, so then our dumpster doesn't have to be removed, and we can just, not have to pay the additional fees. They told us the town has not contacted them to transfer or remove service. And this was 2 days ago. And I'm sure it has probably changed, but that's what we know. And I think that is all I have to say.
All right, thank you. William Shepherd.
I will just voice my opinion too. I would prefer the public comment to be later in the meeting so that we can hear what's being discussed and then form questions, opinions, thoughts that we can express to the town commissioners. On the second and totally unrelated area, the Greensboro Historical Society has found a building down at 609 Sunset. We've already started working, started packing. We're discovering what I think we already knew, but it's hitting us in the face now with the reality of the task. The cleanup down there at the new building is significant. We're trying to do as much of it on our own as we can. I'll be honest with you, our membership is not in the 20 to 40 year age group. It's much older, and so getting people to do that kind of work, some of it's pretty hard work. some are doing it, and we appreciate that, but any help that we can get, we appreciate it for sure. But, it is moving along, we expect to be able to fulfill our commitment to be out on time. If that turns into an issue, we'll give you as much notice and heads up and ask for solutions and help in any way we can, but we don't anticipate that. So appreciate all your help that you've given us, and I just want to give you an update. If the president was here, I would let him do that, but he's not, so I wanted to make sure you were updated as to what our status is. So things are moving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, yeah. That's all we have. I will say this about the public comment. In my time on the council, we have bounced this all up and down the agenda, doesn't seem to end up being anywhere for any great length of time. Where it is now, was based on a recommendation that we got from our attorney who's not here tonight. I know she has a colleague that is stepping in for her tonight. So I don't know the rationale of why it was put there. But I think that, since doing public comment, it's not a question and answer period, so we typically don't give feedback, but during the public comment period, you also have the opportunity next month to speak. If you see something on the agenda, then you can voice your opinion on it. And similarly, next meeting, if you have a question about why we did something or voted on something, you could also speak on it at that time. So I don't know that moving it up and down, the agenda is not necessarily gonna accomplish everything that you've asked for or mentioned tonight. So you just walked in, could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes, hello, my name is Christina Wachowski. I am an associate with Ms. Ryan with Food Proper America. Sorry for the tardiness, I drove up from Ocean City.
So I don't wanna put you on the spot since you didn't list the proposed, new agenda rules for us, but do you have any idea why putting the public comment is so far in the front of the agenda may be recommended?
I think that traditionally it could be just based on the flow and the ease for the meetings. It's not to discourage any public comment, but it certainly opens up ideas and allows, I think, any solutions that can be had after the public comment to kind of regroup and then come back with a response by the next meeting. That would be my guess, but I think that's something that was right.
I also think that Lindsay had said, because we discussed a lot of the things at the meeting prior to at the workshop, so people have the opportunity to prepare their questions, we address them at the beginning of the meeting, they get to listen to the discussion, and then at the next meeting, when they have any questions, or they always have the freedom to reach out to the town hall after the meeting, any questions, so we can prepare. So that was what I thought the rationale was behind that.
Well, that's certainly another good point, and I'm just trying to point out, answer some of the questions that some of you have. I don't have all the answers. If the council, wanted to at some point in time change it, they certainly could have the opportunity to do that. Anyway, moving forward, police department, chief, what?
She does all the department.
You're right, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Good morning,
So the police department stats are on, town hall screens. I do have just a copy of them here if somebody wanted to look at them, but they are on, town hall screens. I also have, samples of the red speed cameras. They're now up and running, by the elementary school. So I do have an example of what the bill will look like if someone was to get it. Again, it is on town hall screens, along with, stats that we've had since it's been running for the last 2 weeks. This is also on town hall screens, but I did make sure that I brought a copy for tonight if anybody wanted to take a look at it. I think currently it is capturing a lot of data. Not necessarily people are gonna get tickets, but at least lets us know what the speed range, are of different vehicles going both ways. Currently open cases that, the police department is working on, they've got 3 fraud, 1 cyber porn, 1 breaking and entering, 3 child neglect, 4 thefts, 2 death investigations, 1 assault in the 2nd degree, and 1 commercial burglary. That's all I have for the police department.
All right, anybody have any questions? All right, Public Works?
Public Works. Public Works, water shut-offs were 38 total. It was originally 120. We did put up, door hangers on Friday before the water shut-off went off on Monday. Regular town maintenance, they did grass cutting, trimming bushes, picking up, some bushes as well. Working on getting all meter numbers and MTU numbers to verify accuracy and get inventory updated. We currently are interviewing for a new public work, staff member. For Public Works in Goldsboro, they had one retrofit in Goldsboro, one call out in Goldsboro for a report of a pump alarm that ended up being a false alarm. Daily pump station readings and maintenance. Code enforcements, removed obstructions from stop signs at Maple Avenue and Park Avenue. Code violations for cutting grass, they had 2 of those. And then, of course, we also have our new door hangers. This is gonna be for code violations, so we'll no longer send out letters. These will go on the door, they'll be screenshotted and then sent into the office. It'll give 5 business days for them to comply before we come out. If it's anything that's costing a fee, it'll be listed down here as well, so that the residents know if this is not accomplished, we'll come out and do it, but there will be a fee attached. So I also have a copy of this if you wanted to see
Kenny,
it.
would you be kind enough to grab that and pass it around so everybody take a look and then make sure we get it back to you? Thank you.
Thank you. I don't need. So the wastewater treatment plant, I've got, a Moxie controller at the wastewater plant went into fault, causing rising levels. So they had to get 13,500 gallons of waste hauled out to help prevent overflow. All is working good now. As a temporary fix, we are able to order a new controller, but the parts are obsolete, for this. They do cost $1,300, or we can upgrade the system, which is gonna cost between $8,000 and $10,000, which is an unexpected fee. They removed and cleaned the UV sensors. At the town hall, they replaced the US and Maryland flags, down here at the triangle. I wanna thank, Senator Hershey for providing those flags to us. And replaced equipment, the audio equipment here, for the town hall streaming camera systems. And currently, they are preparing for the car show and music fest, that's on August the 30th.
Did you need to make a decision tonight about the $1,300 or the $8,000?
No, we're gonna, no, not at all.
Look some more.
Correct.
Anybody have any questions for Public Works? County Attorney?
Yes, Mrs. Ryan, there's a question. You have a question?
We don't take questions during this time.
Mrs. Ryan attended the hearing on the petition for judicial review of the decision, that was handed down, I guess, by the BZA that denied a special exception for Halo Greensboro. So she attended that hearing, the judge heard arguments, of course she asked that the court uphold the BZA's decision to deny. The court has not made a ruling at this time, but she will certainly notify you and do so. So she's awaiting a ruling on that.
For those of you that may not know what she's talking about, there was an application to put solar panels out where the old milk plant used to be, in that lot out there. And so that's the case that she's talking about. Anything else for the town attorney? Town manager.
Town manager, here we go. Let's see, I reviewed the Goldsboro, intergovernmental, agreement for outstanding sewer billing. We are now billing the town of Goldsboro for the outstanding sewer billing monthly. That's not been done in the past. I am also, auditing the Goldsboro water sewer rate for accuracy. I audited all the trash contracts and billing. We found that we were not charging the apartment complex enough for the dumpsters. This was being charged directly to Public Works. So what was happening is the trash bill was coming in, it's coming out electronically. It was an auto debit from our checking account. Nobody was physically seeing the bill, and it was being charged directly to Public Works for that, for those dumpsters. at those 4 apartment complexes.
Yay, town.
At this point, we've made notice to those, apartment complexes to pull the dumpsters and no longer provide trash service to these, apartment complexes, and that'll be effective on September the 2nd. Republic that provide those dumpsters was notified almost a month ago. I did follow up with them 2 weeks ago, and I just followed up with them again on Monday. So I did get an email back confirming it. I'll be more than happy to, show that email to the interested parties that want to see that, but they were made aware of it, and they are, going to be taking that transfer over as of 9/2. We also audited the apartment complexes for the water and sewer billing. We found that we were billing a flat rate for those water and sewer, apartment complexes. This has been corrected, and it'll be corrected for the next billing cycle. It could go either way, just to be honest with you. Depends on the number of units there and how they were billed. It could be a less of a bill, or it could be more of a bill. I'm not gonna know that until we physically do the billing in September of how that's gonna figure out. I will tell you that the Over Apartments, which is the schoolhouse, all have meters, so theirs was never an issue. Greensboro Heights has 1 meter for every 9 units, I believe. 1 meter for, oh, okay, so they have all of theirs, that they would just charge a flat rate, so they're gonna get individual bills. And I've got Maple Avenue, who's got 1 meter for every 4 units. They have contacted us and are interested in getting individual meters. I think they're looking at possibly grant money to assist with that. So we're gonna be going out there and taking a look and trying to, get that done for them. And then, of course, the biggest one is Rolling Mills, and that's the one that's 1 meter for 9 units. And I've not heard anything back from them, on which direction they wanna go. So that's kinda where we are with that. We met with, and that's Brandon and I, met with USG, which is the company that does our maintenance of our meters. Regarding, we have a 15-year contract with them. They're the ones that set these meters initially. We're in our 10th year. What I found was they were not holding up their side of the contract. They were not replacing the meters, Public Works was. They weren't providing us the replacement meters or the MTUs. So this prompted another investigation into our billing system. So what I did was found the original order set where we set these meters and started comparing it to what was in our billing system. And we found that there was a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors. The meter numbers weren't matching up, and the MTUs, some of the MTUs were not matching up. So the MTUs is what drives your billing. So we're in the process of doing a complete inventory. So you will see Public Works out there checking all of the meters and the MTUs and bring them back in for us to verify that the information we have in our system, billing system, is accurate. So I'm not quite sure what that's gonna be until we get it all done. It took me 3 weeks to do that spreadsheet, to match it all up. So it's gonna take Public Works a little bit of time to get that done. We've also reached out to them about our contract. We do have a 90-day clause in there that we could bow out. That might be something we do next year, but right now, we are stuck with them for the remainder of this cycle. And then we'll have to take a look at whether or not we want to continue on with them. I did an audit of all of the telephone accounts, that we were paying. I found that we were paying for phone services that we no longer had. There was approximately 8 to 10 phone bills. So we started checking each phone line to see where it led. An example would be the Weaver Building, where the Greensboro Historical Society was. There was a phone there. I guess they removed the phone, but they never called to cancel the service. We were paying $81.40 a month since 2018 every month. There's some pump stations that had phones going to them that shouldn't have had. Overall, I terminated over 28 cell phones from our Verizon bill, 7 iPads from the accounts. There were several bills for long distance services from MCI and AT&T that were duplicate services for what we were already getting with Verizon. Those have all since been canceled. the savings on that, probably about $15,000 to $20,000 a year, for just those phone lines. I did an audit of the employee accrued time. Accrued time is gonna be their sick and vacation time. According to the employee manual, you can accrue up to 120 hours of sick time, and then it maxes out. You can't earn any more of that unless it's used. Vacation time is 240 hours. I found that, those measures were not set in our payroll system, and staff had access to additional hours that they were able to utilize. I also found that there were several employees that had front-loaded vacation and sick time as well. Since that, anybody that was here currently, their time was corrected and fixed, and it's no longer accruing that anymore. We've got hard stops in there. I did wanna go back to the phone bill real quick. We did have one employee whose spouse had a cell phone that we were paying for. And that went all the way back to 2018. So, let's see. Our 2023 audit, hopefully this is a little good news. So our 2023 audit was sent to the auditors the beginning of August. There was one email that came back that said that, they needed one additional item. They had that. We've not heard anything since then, and I'm told that they should have it done by the end of this month. So that's good news, and then we can start on our 2024. At least we know where the problems lie, that we can dive in and hopefully get the 24 back out to them so that it can be a quick turnaround time, for our 2025, which is due October 31st. So that's kind of like a plus, because we know where we are. I will say that the accountants that have been working, on the audit, for us have indicated that our accounting system through MCSJ is not a good system for us to be using. They've highly suggested that we go back to QuickBooks, so that's exactly what we're doing. I am working with the accountant to get that set up, to minimize our codes that we're using and to get our payroll system back on there, as well as our, payroll maintenance, where employee time is maintained. The cost of the QuickBooks was $6,600, and that includes the accounting and payroll and time management. Currently through Paycom, which is just payroll and the time management, it was $5,850 a year, so we're actually gonna be saving some money by switching over to this system. All town vehicles have been equipped with GPS. It's through Verizon. It's GPS fleet tracking solutions. It can help uncover hidden costs while revealing potential for productivity and efficiency. That cost right now is costing us $14.99 a month per vehicle. That's for the first 6 months, and then it goes to $18.99 a month thereafter. But we have already saw what it can do, and it's amazing. It can tell you how much fuel you're using. It can tell you, pretty much if there's any kind of maintenance issue with the vehicle, so it's pretty substantial on what it's gonna do for the town. Lastly that I have is, I have been diving into our insurance coverage through Legit. I have found a lot of flaws there. We have been overestimated on the value of a lot of our property. When I contacted Legit and asked them about this, they said that it's taken them time to get back out to look at properties. I indicated that I would be looking for another insurance agent if they couldn't get somebody out here. I'll give you an example. The 113 South, Main Street that we sold next door, they had it, valued at $635,000. We sold it for $165,000. So that tells you how much that they are overvaluing the property, which our premium is based off of. Since I found that and contacting them, they are now coming down next week to do a reassessment of our property.
That's all you need was
That will
gold
have.
insurance.
So hopefully we'll get that in line. Currently our bill for them is $55,000 a year. So heads up there, but that's probably gonna be changing. I just wanna wanna remind everybody, we still have the, shoe drive going on, the new shoe drive for the Greensboro Elementary School that ends on August the 29th, I believe. We are still collecting winter coats and clothing that are gently used. That's gonna be happening in November. And of course, just a reminder that the car and music fest is set for August the 30th. We're still looking for volunteers and, donations. That's all. I'm done.
Thank you for all of your efforts. It's nice to have a town manager now.
Excuse me, please, don't speak out. That's a nice compliment, thank you. Anyone on the council have any questions for Cindy? I'm almost at a loss for words, and probably should just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
But those of you that know me know that I can't. This all started looking at a phone bill, all of what you've heard tonight, and we're trying to be as transparent with the citizens as we can be to let you know where we are and where we're going and where we're headed to. Every day I come in and I walk into Cindy's office and I learn all what to do. There's been a lot of mistakes. As the mayor, I have to own that, as the leadership in this community. But we can't go backwards, we have to move forward. And I think that we're doing a good job at doing that, and we all of the Cindy, she has uncovered a lot of money, a lot of savings for the community. And in the end, I think it will turn out well. It's gonna hurt for a little while, hearing some of the things that have happened. It's gonna hurt for some of you that haven't been billed properly, but need to be, to make it fair to everybody in the community. So just give us some time, but in the end, I think it's all gonna work out, and we'll get to where we need to be as a community and as a council, and have a proper and fitting budget. So thank you for all your hard work, and again, like you said, we'll try to, keep you abreast of what's going on as much as we can. Enough said about that. Old business, police vehicle levy.
Okay, this has been discussed multiple times. I've dug back and in 2022 and in 2024, and so it's come to light again. So, for the remaining 2 police vehicles that we have, we're looking to have them lettered, not rose lettered, but lettered. And I just want to make sure that we had a vote on that to go ahead and proceed.
I think that the council has said it many times that they want them laddered so that you can see. Am I correct?
We need a motion on it.
I don't think we need a motion.
Yeah,
We need a motion.
Make a motion, we let
I
her
just
last
wanna make sure it's all
week.
clear, cause I think that there's been back and forth, so I wanna make sure.
We have a motion to letter the vehicles. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Yes.
Thank you.
And for the record, that costs $910 at the quote.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, okay, moving on. So now we're moving on to ordinance 25-0-6, where it's an ordinance, that we're gonna introduce this ordinance, an ordinance to the town of Greensboro to amend the Greensboro Town Code, Chapter 11, to establish reasonable regulations for the control of weeds and grass and regulate the placement of the refuse and waste. So I need someone who's willing to sponsor this ordinance.
I'll sponsor it.
All right. Mr. Harrison has sponsored the ordinance, so I'll move on to the next meeting, have it at the next meeting. Now, the next item on the agenda is a memorandum of understanding with the Office of the Administrative Hearings in Caroline County, Maryland, Caroline County Sheriff, and the town of Denton, Maryland, and the town of Greensboro, Maryland. This MOU, for those of you out there, is the board that hears police complaints and that has hearing on the police complaints to determine whether or not the police officer is in violation of some law or ordinance and recommend punishment. And, so the MOU is for us to participate with that, with our police officers. So, we need to vote on this tonight, so I will look for someone, to make a motion that we enter into this MOU, with the, Office of Administrative Hearings and Caroline County, Maryland, Caroline County Sheriff, and the town of Denton, Maryland, and the town of Greensboro, Maryland.
Make that motion.
All right, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. All right, now on to good and better things, swearing in of a new election judge. That would be Tashid Mumford. Tashida Mumford, is she here today? All right. Can you come up, please? Thank you very much for volunteering. Yeah, come right up here up front. Everybody can see you. All right. We need to swear you in, so if you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Tashina Munford,
Do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful,
and that I will be faithful,
bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of election judge
execute the office of election judge
according to the Constitution
according to the
and
Constitution
the laws of this state.
and the laws of the state.
Thank you very much. Here, your election judge, print your name and sign, please. Today's 22. And then the paper wants to get your picture.
Oh.
Don't forget after the first reading,
While she's doing that, I will remind you that we do have a town election coming up on November the 4th. So if you have not registered to vote yet, you need to do so. And if you're considering running for an office, you need to do that as well.
I got it.
Thank you. All right. Now we need to swear in a new planning commission member. So, Mary Schoonover, come forward. You're another one. Thank you very much. And if you would raise your right hand, please. Says, I state your name,
I, Mary Schoonover,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Planning Commission. I got it right.
execute the office of Planning Commission
According to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state.
and the laws of the state. Thank you.
Your date and your position, or you're the planning commission. I wanted to make sure I said it right, because a lot of people say planning and zoning, but it's not planning.
That's what I've
and zoning.
always been,
But
always
it's,
called.
officially it's not, yeah, that's why I wanted to look.
I think the feels on, I'm still not as well as her. But she's got lots on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, again, thank both of you, for volunteering. We can't do this without citizen support, so it's great when some of you step forward to do that. Trust me, it's not a very much of a thankful job on the planning commission. A lot of people wanna complain about it. All right, so next on the agenda, the public trash and water rate audit. That would be you, Ms. Lee.
As I've gone through and discussed earlier of doing an audit on the, trash bills that we got in, I went through and calculated schoolhouse, which is the over apartments, from what we were calculating in our billing versus what we had to pay, for the trash. The difference is, now this is only a 23 months period, so there's still 2 more months, July and August, cause I had to calculate this, it runs a month behind. So for, up through June of 23, or excuse me, June of 23 through June of 25, schoolhouse apartments were underbilled by $8,557.50. Maple Village was underbilled by $2,251.75. Rolling Meadows was underbilled $5,285.44. And, Greensboro Heights was underbilled $2,022.25, for a total of $18,116.94 that was not collected for the trash receptacles at these 4 apartment complexes. When I contacted, Republic, we got a flat bill, and it's based off of cubic yards per unit. So with that being said, you take the flat bill and then you have to divide it up by the cubic yard, or cubic yards by what is at each facility. So Roland Mills had 4 cubic feet, or 4 cubic yards, I'm sorry. Greensboro Heights had 4 cubic yards, Maple Village had 2 cubic yards, and Over Park / Schoolhouse had 6 cubic yards. So that's where the differences come in. When you take that flat bill and have to divide it up, this is where we come up with the amount that was underbilled. And again, that bill came over electronically, was auto-debited from our checking account, so no one physically saw it or really looked at why, that charge wasn't not being broken down correctly. I will say this, that I forgot to say, I am no longer allowing auto debit from our checking account. We have to physically see the bill and cut the check. That's been stopped now for over a month. So we can physically look at the bill, know what the charge is, especially if it changes. You don't know when things are gonna change. So we're at that place now where, how we're gonna handle this, with each apartment complex. I do know we've got, over Park Place asking for an abatement of that amount. I did have, a letter from Greensboro Heights, and, they were also asking for an abatement as well, and Greensboro Heights was at, $2,022.25.
So, if I understand this correctly, I get a quarterly water bill, and in my quarterly water bill, I get 2 trash bills that are picked up by the company, the vendor we have. These complexes, we pay for their dumpster,
Correct,
because they don't get the cans.
correct.
But do they get the same fee in their water and sewer bill that I do for trash?
They do not.
So what do they pay for trash?
So Rolling Meadows was charged $1,774.31 per quarter for the trash. Their actual bill for a quarter was $1,151.43. However, with Rolling Meadows, if anybody understands trash receptacles, at the top where the lid is, anything over that, I don't care if it's even over an inch, you're charged an extra $100 for that dump. Rolling Meadows had an extra $100 for just about every dump they incurred. Then during Christmas time, they would call and get extra dumps, because of the trash that was in there. Hence, that's why their bill ended up being a lot more than what they were charged because of all of these extras. You've got Greensboro Heights, they were charged $1,021.55 per quarter. We were collecting $1,151.43 per quarter. However, they also had, extra charges because they were over the line, an extra $100 for that dump.
So, my trash is collected every week, every Tuesday. I put it out Monday night. How often are these dumpsters full?
Once a month.
See, that's.
Weekly, sorry, weekly.
Yeah, it's probably once a week.
If it's once a
It
week,
was.
then it's consistent, but if they're being dumped like twice a month, then there's no wonder it's overdue.
No, hold on a second, I've got a sample of the bill here. Yeah, once a week is what they're being dumped. So you get a flat fee, but then every time there's an extra $100 because they're over that line, then it's calculated in here as an additional charge. And then if you call and get an extra dump for like the holidays, then it is a line item on the bill. But other than that, it's a flat bill that we're getting for these 40 units. Maple Village, they were charged $305.51 per quarter. Their actual rate was $575.73 per quarter. And then Over Park was $700.25 per quarter, and their bill was, $1,727.16 per month. Or per quarter, sorry. So they were being undercharged by at least $1,000 per quarter. That's why.
So, what's $20,000, that you're looking at? And I wanna be fair about this, I mean, it's not their mistake, it's actually our mistake, I mean, in the billing process and the way it's all being handled. The question is, how do we come to a solution? Do we just say we're not gonna provide apartment complexes trash service and they contract their own vendor?
You had already made that decision back when I found the error, because there was no agreements, there's no, nothing in writing that we supplied the trash cans there, nothing. I went back all the way to 2006, when some of these rates were put in place.
And that's just what you found out recently, because it's going back further than that, so it's using more money over a period of time, so.
Okay, so.
Well, I think dealing with what I deal with and people, a lot of apartment complexes have their own dumpster service. They contract through whoever to supply a dumpster. Then they pay their portion to the dumpster. You know, each resident, I guess, would pay whatever, but, like Pete said, you know, this is our mistake for not
Yeah.
catching it. I don't really think.
I'm not gonna charge them for the back. I mean, in looking at all this, it's not their fault.
Right.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we agree to eat the $18,116.94.
Well, you can't say that amount because there's 2 more months coming
Okay.
in, so it's gonna be probably around 22,000.
Then I make a motion that we go 24,000, and then we go to 24,000, we give you a buffer. Because it's our mistake. But we still have to come up with a workable solution.
So we have a motion on the floor, to abate up to $24,000 for these 4 complexes for the trash that they were not billed for, because the town didn't send them the bill. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion further? So, I will say, that, you know, how we got here is another one of those rocks that we've uncovered through Cindy's digging. And Joe, you've been on the council for a long time with mayor, and nobody knew we were paying for this trash being collected. So it was hidden in the trash bill, when we always talked about it in the budget, it was just trash bill. So we had no idea. We don't know how it got started, going back through the records, we don't know who started it, how it got started, and it's never been changed, and, well, we just always done it this way was the answer that we got.
So, I'd like to ask the mayor and the council if we could, when I sat up here as mayor, every meeting, we had a list of bills that we looked at, and we approved them every meeting. So right now, I'm coming in blind, I don't know what the town paid for last month, I can't question it. So if I have a list of bills that you wrote a check for, like you said you're gonna do, no auto billing, I can say, why is the trash bill $3,000 this month, or $2,000 this month? I can have something on paper where I can question it.
Well,
We can do that, but we need to get through this motion.
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but I would like to see that back
Absolutely,
in fact.
okay, okay.
well, currently, that is what I do.
Okay.
I question everything. Before my name goes on a check, I wanna know what that bill's for. I wanna know if there's a contract. Where's the contract? What are we supposed to be getting from that contract? And then I'm thinking, if it looks too much to me, then I need to see about maybe getting that changed.
Now, also for just, for discussion for this, so you know what you're voting on. I don't know if this is the place you wanna bring it up now or not, but the complexes, I look at them as a business. So we're not providing them with trash cans. You all decided at the last meeting, we're not,
Right.
it's on their own to get their own dumpsters and collect it and pay for it. For the other businesses in town, they're still getting 2 trash cans, am I correct?
No,
No?
no.
None of the businesses in town are getting trash?
Not even a handful. That was another thing that we
I
found.
thought you told me the other day that they were.
No, there was a list that was provided, that Brandon went out with his crew. And I have that to discuss with you all, but there's maybe 3 that are getting billed that actually use it, the others do not have the cans.
So all the other businesses in town are taking care of their trash, whether they wanna do it with a dumpster, or to take it to the dump, or pay somebody.
Other than 3.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Correct. Those 3 though had trash cans and were not getting billed.
Okay. Well, I knew I heard it somewhere. All right. So I just wanna get that all out there so that everybody knows what's going on. So, any other discussion? Are you ready for a vote? All right. So, all in favor of the motion made by Pete, I'm gonna ask you to call the roll, please, Cindy.
Christina?
Yay.
Jim?
Yay.
Bobby?
Yay.
Pete?
All right, thank you. The motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that all you want to talk about on that item?
That's all I want to talk about.
You
I think
sure?
I've got enough damage.
All right. So then, Councilman Roy. Christina?
None at this time.
Yep.
I don't have any.
Bobby?
Just thank everybody, Cindy and Brandon and everybody, doing a great job. Thank you.
Pete?
I just had on here, thanks for the detailed audits and all the extra work and hours you put in the evenings when you send us out our information and stuff. It's still late at night and you're still working, but, you're finding a lot, we're cleaning up a lot and organizing those others. So, thank you.
All right, I'll look for a motion to adjourn from the regular meeting and go into a closed session to discuss personnel matters and obtain legal advice.
Make a motion.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're out of here at